Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Weird World Podcast. My name's Carrie.
I'm Dean.
And Dean is going to regale us, that's a Dean word, with a weird bit this evening.
Trademarked, and you can't use it without permission. Thank you very much.
You didn't make up the word. It's not.
Kind of a quick cryptid corner.
Oh, no.
Maybe, sort of. Let you be the judge. I'll ask you after we're done.
I should have guessed it was going to be cryptid related.
Kind of. I mean, sort of. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. So let me ask you a question. How many freshwater octopuses do you think there are in the world?
2.
It's the number 2 or 2 species of freshwater?
2 species.
Okay.
I think there's a pink one and a orange one.
Oddly specific with respect to coloration. Okay. Well, there's at least one, and it lives in Oklahoma. It's the size of a horse, and it routinely drowns swimmers in a handful of lakes in that great state of Oklahoma.
Okay. I don't believe this.
Well, would you believe me if I said there are Native American legends going back at least 200 years that tell of this strange creature that lives in some of these lakes in Oklahoma and it feeds and has been feeding on human flesh for these hundreds of years. Would you believe that, Carrie?
No, I wouldn't.
The origins of this legend are said to be quote unquote unclear, but folks have been talking about it. Supposedly lives in 3 lakes, at least 3 lakes: Lake Thunderbird, Lake Ulaga, or is it Uloga Lake? Ulogo. Oologah, which I just pronounced 4 different ways.
Yeah.
And my favorite, Lake Tenkiller.
Ooh.
Phenomenal name for a lake.
Yeah.
It is, as I kind of tease up front, is supposedly roughly the size of a horse. It has this kind of reddish skin or flesh. And of course, it has very long arms. Some might call them tentacles. And it lives in the bottom of these lakes in Oklahoma.
So it's a lake creature.
It's a lake creature, but it sure sounds like an octopus.
Octopus-like.
It's kind of be called the Oklahoma octopus.
Okay.
But maybe it's not. Maybe it's something, who knows, more primitive and prehistoric and even scarier. No, there's never been any physical evidence of this Oklahoma octopus, and there's never been any verified sightings. And no, there's never been any evidence of people. Well, I will say this. There have been a lot of deaths by swimmers in lakes in Oklahoma, including these lakes where it's said to have lived.
You know what?
So some people think, well, maybe there must be an octopus in the bottom of those lakes that's pulling them down to drown them.
There's probably been a lot of deaths in Lake Tahoe.
A lot more than normal. How's that?
Well.
Is there math to back that up? There is not. But there is the allegation that it seems like a lot of people are dying in these lakes. So that's something.
Sure.
It first came to light, well, probably they traced it back. There's this YouTube show called Fun and Crazy Kids by this family in Oklahoma. Yeah. In more innocent days. This is more than I think it was like 2011 or something like that. And I guess they go out in the lake in one of those 3 or 4 lakes that supposedly are home to the Oklahoma octopus, and they splash around and then run out of the water and things like that because it's fun and crazy kids. Yeah. That's what they did with their children.
Wait,
to monetize them.
Are they pretending they're being chased by?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah, this is as a I don't know, episode. Would you call it that? On they put on their YouTube channel pretending to be chased out of the water by an octopus.
Yeah.
Or maybe they weren't pretending. I'm not saying. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it really became well known. I believe it was 2009. It was on an episode of a show called Lost Tapes. It was a show on Animal Planet, I think. Yeah, Animal Planet cable television, which was home to the family of the Discovery Media, which only does good, well-researched, scientifically based shows, and has been since the piece of shit took them over.
I feel like I remember that show.
Yeah.
Lost Tapes.
I do remember that show. It presented it as if it was really happening. It had these 5 people in a boat, and then the camera gets shaken around violently, and suddenly 2 are left alive.
Yeah,
and the rest are dead, and they've been all killed by the Oklahoma octopus. So they had an episode of the Oklahoma octopus, and it took place in Lake Thunderbird. another Great Lake name, which also is said to be home to the Oklahoma octopus. But they were kind of criticized at the time for they would really try to, we found this tape. This is legit. This is a real thing that's happened. And of course, it was all it was fake. It's like the mermaid shows and things like that. They had a whole subgenre then of fake lost tapes that were completely fictionally done. And usually the acting was usually bad enough where you knew that it wasn't real, but a lot of people believed it.
Well, and wasn't there some, like the mermaid show, wasn't there some sort of disclaimer up front saying this is fiction?
Absolutely not.
I thought
there was not. They did it twice. They did it with the mermaid show and they did it with something else. No, there was not. They played that and they were very coy about it in media too.
Okay.
That's and God, what was the other one? I can't think of the other one. Emma would know it, but there's another one besides the mermaid that they did kind of the same thing. They presented it as if it was a legit documentary, or as one of your favorite podcasters would say, documentary. And they would,
I do like her.
Yeah, she's good, except she can't pronounce a lot of words.
No, just that one word.
Just documentary? I've heard a couple others.
Well,
I like the show though. But so this was, made it kind of semi-famous. I'm assuming you have never heard of the Oklahoma octopus?
Nope, never have.
I had not heard of the Oklahoma octopus. Either I must have missed that episode. I believe I missed all episodes of Lost Tapes on Animal Planet. But kind of became famous for a little while and then kind of went away. So you're probably asking, as I ask you, the listener, are asking what I asked Carrie at the top, which is, are there any freshwater octopuses?
Yeah.
Sometimes people ask that question, and almost every source for this show that I read would say, well, there was this guy who did find a small red octopus in Lake Conway in Faulkner County, Arkansas, one time. And that's sort of citing. So see, there could be freshwater octopuses. There are no freshwater octopuses.
Say, there are experts who know.
None in the world.
Okay.
There have never been freshwater octopus. This octopus that was found in this because that lake has rivers that connected, I think, to these lakes in Oklahoma. So it's like, oh, see, there could be these freshwater octopuses. For sure, that was someone's pet, and it lived for a very short time before being found by this guy. Would not even be surprised if it's his pet. And he's like, hey, I didn't throw this octopus out. Look, I just found it. Oh, my God, how weird. There are no freshwater octopuses. There never have been. There can't be. They would have to literally change their physiology immensely to live in freshwater. They die in freshwater fairly quickly. Their cells can't breathe or something like that.
Yeah.
So they can't live in freshwater, whether it's in Oklahoma or anywhere else. There are none. There can never be. So sorry.
Okay, so if you have a tank in your home and you want to have a cute little octopus in it, it has to be saltwater.
Saltwater, yeah. Okay. So just take fresh water, and my understanding is pour some table salt into it, and you're good to go. I'm not an expert. Okay. Please don't believe me. That is not true. Also, you scratch the surface of this story, and I mentioned no physical evidence. So there have been bodies. People do die in when they go swimming in Oklahoma rivers, but it's because they got drunk. Usually, this is Oklahoma, obviously. Just kidding, Oklahoma. But no, that's true anywhere. Most water deaths are due to people doing stupid things, usually involving alcohol, and that's true. The problem with the octopus theory is that nobody has ever had anything looking remotely like an octopus or even any kind of a creature attack. There's no physical scarring or any sign whatsoever. They drowned. Yeah. And if it's happening more than normal in your lake, maybe you need to look in the mirror and ask why. All right. Maybe, you know what?
Maybe have need one to enforce some rules.
Don't drink that last Pabst Blue Ribbon. And again, many people have been claimed to see the creature, but there's not one video or picture of this creature ever in all the time. Is supposedly all these 200 years that it's been in the Native American legends. That's what we'll get to in just a second. I think you probably know where that's going to go. So some people thought, okay, well, what's going on here? Like, you have to think of that. And they think, oh, well, they're a big catfish. There are catfish in some of those lakes that are like 6-7 feet long and can weigh hundreds of pounds. Yeah. But are they dragging people down to their death?
Maybe.
Probably not, but maybe. But, so that's like sort of like a logical explanation for that. But one thing I read said, due to the lakes being man-made, the drownings are most likely the result of people getting drunk and not paying attention while swimming, unquote.
What is the man-made?
That's the key, isn't it? You caught that. Good. I'm glad that you did. So Native American legends going back hundreds of years, right? Well, I looked it up. I took a little time and looked up Every one of these lakes is a reservoir, and it's not a natural lake formed by damming rivers.
Yeah.
Lake Tenkiller was formed in 1953. Lake Thunderbird, the early mid-1960s. Lake Ulaga, or whatever that is, was started construction on the dams that would make Lake Ulaga in 1951. It wasn't completed until 1965. Every major lake in Oklahoma is a man-made reservoir. There is no.
I was going to say everyone, because I know there are some places where they just don't have
a lot of
natural lakes.
Yeah, Texas supposedly that's not completely true.
Yeah.
But every significantly sized lake in Oklahoma is a man-made lake.
Why is that?
It's just not the terrain. I mean, a lot of that stuff where you see the big lakes are because you had glacial scouring, and you didn't have that in places like Texas and Oklahoma back in the olden days in the Ice Age.
I mean, and then there's what is Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. They got
covered by
10,000
glaciers.
of them.
Covered by glaciers, and as they retreated, they scoured the land and created all these depressions for lakes.
We have a lot
That's
of
my
lakes.
quick physical geography. I hope I'm right. I may not be, but I think that's. I
know, because I think it was Texas that they don't have naturally occurring lakes.
They don't, but they do. That's actually a
real.
myth. That's a myth. They do have some that it's not very big. The ones that are naturally occurring are very small. The big lakes you see, like a Lake of the Opossums or something like that, those are big reservoirs, man-made.
Well, maybe it's because the ones that they do have are technically not lakes; they're ponds.
I don't know.
Or creeks. Or creeks.
They're not
more
creeks.
Like,
those are like small rivers and streams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pond.
But
I'm gonna go with pond.
Carrie, I applaud your attempt to use what you thought was a vaguely country-sounding word like crick. That was good. Yeah. You forced it a little bit, sure, but it's a good attempt. I like that. And Lake Tenkiller, it is 8 to 28 feet deep, and it's crystal clear. There's no sediment going on, so it's crystal clear. It's just
is it cement in the bottom?
It's not cement at the bottom. It's a natural lake, but it's on a Native American reservation, and they don't let pollution get. So, because a couple of these lakes are very sediment heavy, and so they're kind of dark and peaty.
Yeah.
And hey, something could be hiding down there. But like Tenkiller, which is again fantastic name for a lake, is like you can see all the way down the bottom of those 28 feet, and you're not seeing any octopuses. And by the way,
I might swim in that lake. Then I don't like. Murky
wouldn't you be afraid
lakes.
of octopuses killing you?
No.
Huh? Not even the Oklahoma octopus.
But I don't love the idea of fish swimming around my feet. No.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I only care about these things as an adult.
Because guess what?
As a kid, I swam in lots of lakes.
Every time you've swum, you have had fish swim around your feet.
I know. And that's why I
time.
said I never thought about it as a kid, and it only bothers me now as an adult.
Ocean,
I
lakes,
swam
rivers.
in the ocean as a kid, and even as a teenager.
I swam in the ocean as a grown-up.
I know.
That's right. You never go in the water, do you, anymore?
No.
Are you afraid now? Because there might be fish, in the ocean.
Don't feel like it's something I need to do anymore. Okay. Kind of like going to Disneyland. I'm too tired.
Okay, that's good. That's sad. So
it takes energy.
Yeah.
To swim in the ocean.
Not that much.
Yes, it does. Okay, Don't say that.
I think it's fun. One researcher looked up and tried to find the earliest reference to it, and it was indeed in a book in 2007. And this is an actual real journalist. They called the author of that book to ask, like, hey, where's your source for this Oklahoma octopus? And the author never called him back. Shocker. So it appears that it was made up. It had a little brief foray on YouTube. It got on an episode of Lost Tapes on Animal Planet. Again, quality media source, and died away. It's clearly one of those very modern inventions. It's clever. I love it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's alliterative. Oklahoma octopus.
Yeah.
I like that. So they thought, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's make something up. Have fun with it.
Yeah, those little stories are kind of fun as long as you don't.
Please don't believe them because it's for sure not true.
Because people know it's not true.
One of the sources was I don't even know what it was. It must have been some kind of a tourist thing because it said something like, "So, are there octopus in Oklahoma? Only one way to find out. Enjoy a vacation in one of the many beautiful lakes in Oklahoma. Book it now." It was just it became suddenly incredibly chilly.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can find out. No, it's not. There are not. I know for a fact. I don't need to go there to find out. Do I want to go to Oklahoma and swim at Lake Tenkiller? I kind of do now. I'm not going to lie about that.
I think there might be a reason or two why I won't give Oklahoma my tourism dollars.
Okay. Let's just stop there.
And complain about me getting political.
Oh, God.
Who said it was politics?
No, what is it? What is it then? What is it? I don't like the way their streets are paved. I am, until they pave the streets differently, I'm not going to give them my tourist dollars.
I don't know. I've never been to Oklahoma. I'm sure it's lovely.
I have not been to Oklahoma. Been pretty close, but not in Oklahoma. I'm sure it's also lovely as well.
Do you have relatives from Oklahoma or something?
Maybe.
Why am I asking you?
I don't know.
I know more about your family than you do.
So I should ask you.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. It's a little quick cryptid corner / weird bit about the Oklahoma octopus. Yes, we've been a little bit lazy. Had a couple of weeks here in a row where we've just done these quickies.
We haven't been lazy.
We haven't been lazy.
We've been out of town.
We have. We've been traveling.
You have a job.
I do. And so we are going to upload a full episode, I promise. In fact, I believe we're going to do, it's a really, a very strange story about a guy who can cause rain. It caused the world to rain indoors. That's a terrible little tease there, but it's actually a really interesting story. And that will be up next week. Until then, thanks for listening.
Thanks. Bye.